Hey, what's up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome back to another episode or another video here on Scarlet and Great, or as you guys know it, Ohio State football with Scarlet and Great here on YouTube. Again, my name is Shane Larson, also known as the Boise Buckeye. I'm part of the team here with Corey and Johnny, who have put together the Scarlet and Great channel here on YouTube. And like I said before, this is like the first week of us getting back in action after taking a couple of months off during the off season as we had other things going on. So we're excited to get things rocking and rolling. And the only thing we ask of you guys is to help us get to 6,000 subscribers before kickoff. So we've got a month and a half, 2 months before kickoff, literally 2 months actually before kickoff. We'd love for your guys' assistance. So hit that subscribe button and share this with any of the other Buckeye fans that you know, where we can provide content to them and help them out. Let them follow the channel. We want to get to 6,000 before the start of the season. We're getting excited about this season. Corey and Johnny and I have been talking. We've been putting together some ideas for some shows. You're going to see some videos come from them in the next couple of days here on the platform, and you're going to love that content. So make sure you're following this because you're not going to want to miss it. We're ramping up the content to get things kicked off for 2023. Now, the last couple of videos that I did, one was an interview with Eddie George. It was some excerpts from my interview with Eddie George, Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State. The other one, I was talking about the offensive line, and we were talking about Josh Simmons. We were just chatting about the importance of leadership on the offensive line. One of the comments that came through, discussed some of the topics that we could potentially talk about. And that's what I want to talk about today and discuss. Will there be some sort of an adjustment with Hartline at the helm, calling shots on the offensive side of the ball? So we are well aware that we have weapons across the board, super talented, especially on the outside. Ohio State, wide receiver we always talk about it. But how good are you if you can't utilize the weapons that you have, right? And are we concerned about that? Is Hartline going to be concerned about that? That's something that we want to talk about with you guys here. We want to get your guys' participation. So I want some comments in here. Make sure you comment with any questions that you have or any insight that you have, because I love taking the comments and forming discussions out of this. This is a platform for Buckeye Nation, from Buckeye fans to the rest of Buckeye Nation here. We want to chat with the rest of you. So weapons across the board. You obviously got Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back, big name, right? We're looking at a potential Biletnikoff Award winner, and I'm going to keep my eye on him. I'm a Biletnikoff Award voter, and I'm going to be obviously watching how he plays. But with a new offensive line, we were talking about Josh Simmons in the last video, and with we have question marks at the quarterback position. It's going to take some time, right? And I think I don't want to overplay, just dive too deep into the quarterback side of things. I know it's a big question mark because we're, used to having Stroud. We've had some solid quarterbacks in the past. But one thing with Ohio State in recent times is that the quarterback transition isn't actually always as bad as we think it's going to be, or as tough. These guys are super talented and very well coached. And I have there's a big piece of me that believes it's going to be a better transition than I've heard some Buckeye fans talk about. I don't think it's going to be as difficult as some people are making it out to be, because, oh man, he's following Stroud. No, I believe whoever it's going to be playing quarterback is more than capable of playing the quarterback position. Will there be some learning curves? Yeah, there always is. These are young guys trying to play the game at a high level, but I don't think it's going to be that crazy. They're more than capable of getting the ball out to the outside and hitting their weapons, right? They're more than capable of doing all those things. But we do have a new offensive line, very inexperienced offensive line, and we're looking to see who can step up there. So with that being said, will there be a shift in focus on the offensive side of the ball? Will we be leveraging the run game more throughout the season, especially early on, than we have seen in the past? And with that shift in focus, I guess, is whether or not that's going to impact those receivers. Will they stay in the game? Will they have to focus on their run blocking? What's the scheme going to be? I've been looking around trying to see if Hartline has, really talked much about this. And there's rumors, we're going to try to focus on the run game. We've got weapons, in the backfield as well. Like I said, we got weapons across the board. Here's what I expect. As if you guys go chat with anybody who has inside knowledge, we're going to leverage it all, right? But it's probably going to be the run game that's going to hold us into that first month of the season. It really is. We're going to be getting into some tough games going into October. And that first month of the season is going to be, especially the first 3 games, that's going to be a time where we have got to get the run game going to open things up on the outside so that we can leverage those weapons on the outside. So I'm going to expect this to happen. I think Hartline's smart enough to see that. Will we have the same amount of points, the same spark on offense? Will we be putting up points left and right, averaging 45 a game? I don't know. I would actually expect us to be in the 30s, take a little bit of a dip on the offensive production and the scoring side of things. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I also think that there's obviously control of the game, momentum shifting stuff. I mean, it's like body shots the whole game. And I would expect us to leverage the run game a little bit more and have that shift in focus. I mean, I was talking about the tough schedule. If you guys take a look, at the end of September, obviously September 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, we go to Notre Dame, okay, going to South Bend. But then you've got in October, Maryland, Purdue, Penn State, and Wisconsin. And you might think, okay, well, we can walk through all of those guys. Well, it's not always a walkthrough if you aren't rolling properly. We've seen that. We always talk about that. But like if your team is not clicking, it's not going to just be a walkthrough for them in the game. It's just not going to be that way, right? So here's what I'm expecting. I think Hartline's smart enough to understand it. He sees it. He obviously wants to get the ball on the outside. We have all these weapons on the outside. But do we shift the focus into the backfield, especially for the first part of the season? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say we expect to have that shift in the backfield to start the season off. I really think that's what's going to happen. Whether or not we can really get a well-rounded set of offensive plays called is another question. I want to know what you guys think. What are you expecting to see out of the Buckeyes offense as far as strategy is concerned? Do you expect the shift to go to the run game more? We talk about it every year. We always think that it's going to happen when Day was calling the shots. Will it happen with Hartline at the helm? Now, another question that came up in that same comment was regarding the tight ends. Okay. We've got all these weapons on the outside. So will we neglect the tight ends? Here's what I think. And this is coming from a former tight end myself. See, I'm a tight end, so I have a little bit of a biased opinion on this matter, okay? The tight end is going to be the quarterback's best friend when things go south, when in regards to the passing game. And I know people are going to say that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen or heard or whatever. I really believe that the tight end being a bigger target, usually speaking, they're going to be closer to the line of scrimmage in regards to their pass route, like the routes that they're running. They tend to be one of the best targets for a quarterback to go to. So with the question marks at the quarterback position, I really hope Hartline sees the importance in getting the tight ends into the pass game. Here's the problem. Rewind to what I just said. If we do shift to the running game and we have an inexperienced offensive line, you're going to be pulling in the tight end, making sure that they are run blocking, my apologies, run blocking first. So maybe the focus for them is also in the run game first. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm not. But will we neglect the tight ends? I could see it happening. We want to take one step at a time for whoever's going to be taking the snaps at the quarterback position, right? We want to take it one step at a time. We got to get the run game started. We got to get this offensive line in sync together. And then we've also got to get the receivers rolling. And then we also got to get the tight ends. It'd be nice to have it all rolling at the beginning of the season. There's a lot of question marks. I think you got to take it one step at a time. However, I do think Hartline is the guy to be able to get them to roll and roll quickly. He's a player's coach. They believe in him. He's been there. He understands the game. He understands it at a very high level as well. So I expect them to listen to him, to be right behind him as they get rolling. But these games are not cakewalks in October. They're not. That Notre Dame game is not a cakewalk. We're far more talented. But I mean, we're going to go into hostile territory, inexperienced offensive line, inexperienced quarterback. What are we going to do? Do we shift and focus so that we can rely on the weapons that we have? We'll have to see. I want to know what you guys think. Leave us a comment and let us know what you guys are expecting out of the offense this year with Hartline at the helm and the inexperienced offensive line and quarterback position. Let us know. Again, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 6,000 followers before the beginning of the season. And we'll be here for more Buckeye content. Remember that Johnny and Corey are pushing out some content coming out next week for you guys, so you get to see their amazing, beautiful faces. I appreciate all y'all. We'll be following you. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, please do so. I love chatting with Buckeye fans all across the country, all across the world. I'm over here in Boise, Idaho. Call me the Boise Buckeye for a reason. But I love chatting with you guys. So we're going to be bringing you guys more content. If there's more that you guys want to talk about, feel free to chime in. Let us know. And as always, God bless and go Bucks.